tray tables that are in front of your seat. You will soon be offered in-flight meals. Eating on board is perhaps the most enjoyable part of the flight, but have you ever wondered how hot food is offered to you in the sky at an altitude of several thousand meters above the ground? On board of civil aircraft, if you think that there is a kitchen where a variety of dishes is cooked on the plane, then you are wrong. The food is delivered cooked on board the plane, and it is made here at the in-flight catering factory. In order for you and me to be well fed up there, dozens of chefs work in special factories here on Earth. Airline catering is a full-fledged logistics center. Hundreds or even thousands of portions of food are prepared here every day. All the dishes are made in these kitchens. Cooking zones operate as conveyor belts, where each employee has their own duties assigned to them. The quality of the finished products depends on the following factors: supply of advanced equipment and automation of operations, the range of products and recipes, compliance with the technological norms, skills of the personnel, quality management throughout the entire production cycle. Today we will show you the sequence of actions that the in-flight meals go through before it ends up on your tables. The first regular passenger air transportation using winged aircraft was carried out in early 20th century. Turbulence in such aircraft was severe, therefore offering food during the flight was impossible. Therefore, there were no kitchens or galleys on board. Later, commercial airplanes began offering their passengers sandwiches with tea or coffee from flasks. Over the years, planes have become more reliable, they flew higher and longer, and most importantly, ovens appeared on board, devices for heating ready-made food. By the way, the first in-flight meal served was fried chicken. With the emergence of airline divisions specializing in the supply of food for air passengers, the era of in-flight catering began. Meanwhile, flight attendants were introduced, and their duties were similar to the functions of regular waiters. In-flight catering is a complicated technological process whereby the art of cooking delicious meals coexists with strict aviation safety rules. The range of in-flight meals served during direct and return flights depend on factors such as availability of advanced equipment and refrigerating devices in the kitchen, automation of processes, the capacity of the facilities, as well as shelf lives and storage conditions of products. The staff ought to start loading containers and trolleys with meals at least 3 hours before the departure and finish at least an hour and a half before the takeoff. The in-flight meals for the crews are packed in separate containers and boxes, which have the crew meals labels on them. A cabin crew member with a specific medical permit performs the inspection of in-flight meals loaded on board the aircraft. Such flight attendants go through the required medical checks and are trained to perform such operations. Each set of in-flight meals upon loading on board the aircraft comes with all the required documents and info leaflets specifying storage conditions, transportation requirements, and shelf lives of the meals. This paperwork allows tracking all food products as well as checking the availability of both free of charge and commercial meals loaded on board. Preparation of food for distribution, adding salad dressings, portioning, opening packages of canned food and bottles of drinks, as well as the final plating of dishes is carried out in the galley. The prepared trays with plated dishes and snacks are immediately distributed to passengers. Used dishes and packages are left on trays and placed in containers. Further, they are handed over to the in-flight catering facility. Cleaning equipment for the galley compartment is packed in a special container of a standard form. In cases of delayed flights, meals on board the aircraft are removed and transferred in sealed form to the in-flight catering facility, but no later than 2 hours before the expiration date. The in-flight catering facility conducts express monitoring using a nitratometer to identify the residual content of nitrates in vegetables and fruits during the handover.
Процесс производства начинается.
The production process begins with planning and the inspection of purchased products. The very first stage is the receipt of products. We have a very strict selection process based on sanitary standards and aviation safety norms.
Далее это все складируется при специальных нормах своих.
Afterwards, all these products are stored in accordance with specific norms, because each ingredient has its own storage requirements.
И другие отделы, которым необходима получается загрузка того или иного типа питания.
Further, the production unit and other departments that expect to receive certain food products make up their plan and submit a request for the warehouses.
На производстве у нас есть более 7 отделов.
Then the products from warehouses are distributed throughout the departments. We have more than 7 departments in our facility, and each department requires specific ingredients. After that, all these ingredients are vacuum sealed and delivered for cooking. After cooking, we perform operations that are required due to certain sanitary norms, whereby we have to cool and portion the meals. Each meal should be cooked at a certain temperature and time. After that, all these meals are packed and shelved in the same manner as it will be presented to the passengers. Everything is loaded into trolleys and sent to the aircraft. We conduct a strict selection of suppliers. There are specific requirements that they should meet. First and foremost, it's certification. That is, all our suppliers are certified, both locally and internationally. We may find certain suppliers here at the local market, but if we need ingredients that are only found abroad, we are free to collaborate with them. The very first thing we do is we perform an audit of the supplier. Specifically, we conduct checks requesting their certifications if necessary. We visit their production sites in order to perform an audit. Then we negotiate the prices. Overall, it is a very long and complicated process because they need to comply with sanitary and aviation safety norms. That is, each supplier should follow certain norms related to their scope of services. For example, there are sanitary norms that are applied to meat. Based on these requirements, meat has to be delivered to us frozen in a special vehicle that is intended for the transportation of these products. Moreover, it has to be certified locally. Also, we carry out our own production control. We take samples and send them every month to the sanitary department for inspection. On board, passengers are offered various dining options depending on the airline, class of service, and travel time. For short-haul flights, light breakfasts are typical, which may include sandwiches, a bun, coffee, or tea. The menu at longer routes may include options such as meat, poultry, fish with a side dish, a salad, fruits for dessert, or an exquisite cake. Interestingly, there are prohibitions and restrictions in airline catering. For example, in order to prevent the occurrence and spread of infectious diseases and mass food poisoning, the list of in-flight meals cannot include the following: meat products made of minced or chopped meat, except for products that underwent heat treatment. Boiled sausage products, breaded culinary products, as well as pâté. Salads, first and second course meals with dressings added, except vegetable oils. Sauces for dishes are delivered in individual consumer packaging. Cakes with cream, custard, cottage cheese, whipped cream, protein, juice and juice products in a package of no more than 1 liter, mineral waters for medicinal purposes, homemade food products of non-industrial manufacture, ready-made hot dishes.
Например, мясной цех, там оно готовится на полуфабрикаты.
In the meat unit, they prepare ready-to-cook meat products. Based on the menu, they cook delicacies such as goulash, steaks, or other dishes. Then, these meat products undergo heat treatment, whereby the chef at the hot dishes shop must comply with certain sanitary rules in order to avoid the growth of microorganisms. Above all, the chef has to follow the cooking time, and after the meat is cooked, they need to check the temperature in the product's thickest part. There are specific temperature requirements for each product. Each chef plays a certain role in this process. So, within an entire day of cooking, a diverse team of professionals works hard so that you can have your meal on a tray. Can you imagine how many stages it goes through and how many people are involved in this process?
вот красиво преподнести вам на подносе. Представляете, сколько она этапов проходит и сколько людей участвует в этом процессе?
The premises of such catering workshops are equipped with modern multi-purpose equipment, cooling chambers and deep freezing chambers, which allow airlines ordering meals not only for direct flights, but for the return trips as well. Surprisingly, the food tastes flavorless. Familiar foods at altitude appear to be bland. This happens due to specific changes in human sensations during flight as a result of low atmospheric pressure and dry air. It is believed that stewed vegetables, fish and rice-based dishes retain their taste, while other products are cooked more spicy and salty.
Маркировка продукции.
As for product labeling upon delivery at the warehouse, each product is thoroughly checked for compliance with aviation safety norms, whereby the airport's aviation security service performs their unique labeling, verifying that the product is safe.
Стерильную зону, то есть на склады. Там мы ведем свою.
Next, the products go to the sterile area, that is to the warehouses, and there we carry out our own labeling. This includes the product's receipt date. We enter this information in special journals, because we need to comply with FIFO and LIFO requirements. The first product in, the first product out. The same applies to the production site when they receive the products. If only part of the ingredient is used, the rest should be labeled with the utilization date, and after a certain time period, these products should be placed into refrigerators or other places where the products should be stored. After the meals are cooked, we label them with the date when it was cooked and portioned. These are the labeling that we perform. There are different types of labeling at our facility, such as long-term storage, daily use and weekly labels using colors for each day. For example, there is a color for Monday, another color for Tuesday, and so on. When you visit the warehouse, you will see it. There are different colors. This allows differentiating. This item arrived on Monday and this product was received on Sunday, for example. That's how we label. The menu. Our menu is extensive. Our company focuses on providing in-flight catering and we have an individual approach to each client. That is, each customer has their own menu and preferences. There are different types of passenger types who have their own tastes. Every year we develop and update the menu. It depends on the preferences expressed by passengers and the airlines, some latest trends, as new dishes may appear on the market and we try to introduce them. However, this process is a little bit different because in-flight meals differ from restaurant food. There are specific cooking norms. Therefore, in our menu, we only offer those dishes that we can provide to the passengers, guaranteeing the food's safety, appearance and taste. Nevertheless, our menu is huge.
Пассажиру гарантирую то, что за его безопасность, внешний вид, вкусовой рецептор, так скажу. Но оно огромное.
Today, with fuel prices rising, air carriers are forced to take the most incredible measures to reduce their costs. For example, there is a famous case of the massive savings by American Airlines when they removed a single olive from each salad for passengers. This allowed saving about $55,000 a year, and it also reduced the weight of the aircraft. Virgin Atlantic now offers first-class passengers glasses made of thinner glass and lighter plates. Chocolate bars and candies became lighter as well. And for the night flights, fewer drinks are purchased, since at this time most people don't drink.
Мы производим то, что касается там фрешев, лимонадов, то, что мы можем.
We produce fresh juice, lemonade, and all the beverages that we can make. Also, we purchase beverages from suppliers. Likewise, they are stored in separate rooms. If the drinks should be cooled, we cool them.
Также, получается, комплектуем на телеге.
We pack them on the carts and load on board the plane. We offer alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. They may be different depending on the flight and destination. There are different standards.
Оно порционируется, так скажем.
The food is portioned, laid out on trays or special ovens or containers that are loaded onto planes, and then it is transported directly to the plane.
И далее оно уже транспортируется на самолет напрямую. После того, как питание уже...
After the food is loaded into containers, we put it into special refrigerators. Before delivering on the plane, we cool the meals for about 3 hours so that the right temperature is achieved. We have dedicated supervisors who check the food if it is correctly portioned and assembled for the specific flight, or if certain kinds of food should be added. They perform full inspection, including the aviation safety check. Next, aviation security officers arrive to check the presence of prohibited items. After that, the food is sealed. We have our own delivery team. Then the food is placed in special vehicles called catering auto lifts, which carry out delivery. Catering lifts are special vehicles that are used to load in-flight meals. The container of this truck is raised to the level of the aircraft door, and via an adjustable bridge, meals are loaded on board. There are special ovens for food heating on the plane. The containers that we deliver on board are loaded into the oven on the plane, and there it is heated up at a certain temperature and time.
Скажем, мы идем к этому. Мы здесь работаем всего лишь 2 года.
We're moving on. We have been working here for just 2 years since May 2021. Our company manages this on-board facility, and of course within 2 years we have upgraded our operations, we have updated the equipment and introduced some innovations for the employees. We are trying to improve the working conditions for our staff members so that they feel safe when they come to work.
Планируем, мы хотим также немножко диверсифицировать свое.
We also want to diversify our scope of services a little bit, so that we are able to offer services outside the in-flight catering, because it is quite a tough type of catering, as airlines constantly look for ways to reduce the budget and size of the meals. We have a plan for the next 5 years. There is a strategy for development. We want this in-flight catering facility to reach a completely new level.
Данное предприятие, оно вышло на абсолютно новый уровень.
At the moment, the average daily output of the in-flight catering facility is 5,000 servings per day. And if we work 24 hours in 4 shifts, a maximum of 15,000 servings per day can be prepared at our facility. Moreover, some equipment should be replaced, as well as several process-related changes are required here.
Изменения связаны с процессами.
Dietitians claim that proper nutrition can help get over the discomfort of flying at high altitude. It is recommended to give preference to easily digestible but sufficiently nutritious food. For example, eggs, as well as an omelette with vegetables, are perfect as they allow feeling full for a long time. However, they suggest giving up fried meat, potatoes, mayonnaise-based salads, and fizzy drinks. This can provoke discomfort. In any business or enterprise, there is something to strive for. You should not be satisfied with the results that you have achieved. The same applies to in-flight catering. There are a lot of international standards. Every year something new emerges. These are the standards we aim to achieve. We perform analysis of how other caterers operate. We look at innovations, and we learn from the experience of others as well.
И также мы принимаем опыт у других, также смотрим. То есть тут нет такого, чтобы ты сделал какой-то процесс.
That is, this industry is constantly evolving. You cannot be content with executing the same process for years. In fact, many processes change on a regular basis, and that makes the in-flight catering interesting.
Здесь очень интересно, процесс можно запустить.
This is not a restaurant with very few processes and instructions. What's interesting about airline catering, we launch a process and then we test it. It will work for a certain time, but after a while you will see all the pros and cons and where improvements can be made. We come up with something new and try to ease the operations for both our employees and ourselves. And of course, we work on improving standards in order to be reliable suppliers for airlines.
У нас есть 6 контрольно-критических точек. Это CCP-1, это контроль при получении товара.
We have 6 critical control points, such as CCP1, which is control upon receipt of products, CCP2, which is distribution throughout refrigerators, CCP3 is for cooking, whereas CCP4 is about cooling, because we must cool down the meals as quickly as possible right after the dishes are cooked. We instantly flash freeze the food. CCP5 is related to portioning, while CCP6 regulates the delivery on board. We must observe all these norms. We shouldn't go beyond these critical control points because the food that is served on board is eaten by people from all over the world. Therefore, the reputation of our company is at stake. I can see that the passengers enjoy our meals. The dishes taste like homemade. They are very delicious. We do our best so that the passengers eat the most delicious food. We certainly prioritize the quality of food.
Ну, естественно, да, на качество питания мы очень большое внимание обращаем.
We wish you a nice flight and a safe landing. Enjoy our product in the sky.